DIY is one of the easiest and quickest ways to add color, texture, and pattern to your walls. And it might look familiar to you if you've seen some of my other videos. Today I'm going to show you a super simple tutorial for how to add pretty fabric-filled embroidery hoops to your wall decor. This is something that you guys have been asking me to show you since I started using them in my video backgrounds. Since I just moved and my walls are yellow this time, I thought it was a perfect time to change up the fabrics in these hoops. So here we go! Here's an up-close look at the hoops that were on my wall in our old apartment that I'll be showing you how to make today. I basically just chose a bunch of patterned fabrics that go together nicely and put them into a bunch of differently sized embroidery hoops, which you can buy at most craft stores. If you've never worked with an embroidery hoop before, they look like this. There is a little screw at the top that loosens and tightens the hoop, and if you loosen it, this smaller wooden hoop on the inside can slide out easily, and that's what's going to allow it to hold onto your fabric. To stretch some fabric onto the hoop, first choose the fabric you'd like to use. I'm starting with a solid light blue fabric that matches my YouTube channel banner. And place the hoop on top of the fabric so you can see how much you'll need. Cut the fabric out around the hoop with your fabric scissors, making sure to leave a little bit of excess so there's plenty of room for your hoop to close over it. If you haven't already, loosen the screw and remove the inner part of the hoop, then place that smaller hoop behind your fabric. Now place the larger hoop on top of your fabric and press it down onto the small hoop. Your fabric should now be pretty securely trapped between the two hoops like this. Tighten the screw at the top, and as you go, tug on the edges of the fabric to make sure that you don't have any wrinkles and that it's evenly stretched. And that is the most basic method of putting fabric onto an embroidery hoop. You can stick with that if you'd like, but I figured out last time that I prefer the look of the fabric when you can't see through it, so I ended up adding a piece of white felt behind the blue fabric. The steps are the same as before, except that the little stack of fabric is now quite a bit thicker, so you'll need to open the larger hoop a bit more to get it to fit. Once you're happy with your fabric and it's tightly attached to the hoop, we'll need to get rid of the excess fabric around the outside so it will sit flat on your wall. If you think you'll keep these hoops the way they are permanently, you could trim around the hoop, leaving a bit of fabric that you can wrap around to the back and glue to the inside of the hoop. I did this initially, but when I decided that I wanted to change to a few different fabrics this time around, I ended up wrestling with the glue so I could try to cut off as much of the old fabric as I could, which took quite a bit of work. So this time I decided to just trim the fabric right to the edge of the hoop like this. That way, if I move again, I can choose new fabrics that work with the new wall color, and this fabric will come right out if I need it to. Repeat these steps for as many hoops in as many sizes and kinds of fabric as you'd like. This time around, I chose a few white fabrics with interesting textures like these embroidered flowers and this lace sewn onto it. Since my walls are so bright and colorful now, I wanted to bring some white onto the background. Once you've prepared all of the hoops, choose a layout for them on a table. I tried to arrange them so the different fabrics as well as the different sizes of hoops were spaced out evenly. When you're ready to put them on your wall, start arranging them using painter's tape to hang them temporarily. This will make it easier to switch them around and make any last-minute adjustments, since it usually ends up looking different on your wall than it did on your table. And once you're totally happy with the placement, tap in a push pin or a nail with a hammer at the top of each hoop and hang it up using the little screw. You can even attach a small command hook instead if you can't make holes in your walls. Once all of your hoops are attached to the wall, you'll have a really great section of wall art that can cover a whole lot of space quickly and inexpensively. I especially like using this kind of decoration as a background for my YouTube videos because it looks nice but isn't too distracting to my viewers. It's also a super customizable project because you can choose any colors, patterns, or textures you'd like and arrange them any way you want to. There are so many possibilities for a project like this. I'm actually thinking about embroidering some little felt appliques onto the hoops behind me, so that's something that you could also try if you decide to try this project. And this is probably the easiest tutorial I've ever had on my channel, so if you're not that crafty, you could totally still manage this and have it turn out really cute. If you try this tutorial yourself, definitely send me a picture of the finished product on Twitter at Lauren Myrtle because I would love to see how it comes out. In the comments, tell me what kinds of colors and patterns you would use for this project. Would you make only a couple of the hoops, or would you fill an entire wall with them? I hope that all of you are doing well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.